Live from the KWQC Broadcast Center in downtown Davenport with Morgan Otier and Kyle Keel. This is Quad Cities Live.
Today on QCL, how to store and manage your energy once you've made the switch to solar power. Eagle Point Solar is here with battery storage options.
And from new construction to student builds, the spring preview of homes is back with inspiration for everyone. We'll tell you when and where you can check them out.
Plus, a new month means new events and activities at your local library. Coal Valley's Public Library is here with a closer look at all the fun for kids, teens, even adults. Hello and welcome to Quad Cities Live. Thank you for joining us. I'm Morgan Otier alongside my co-host here, Kyle Keel. Well, May is Mental Health Awareness Month, and today we're taking another step forward in an ongoing conversation that affects every one of us. How we understand, support, and talk about mental health in our daily lives.
Yeah, in the second installment, we are joined by two voices working to make a real difference in our community through the Gray Matters Collective. Devin Heatherly and Corbin Sturgill are both mental health advocates who bring different perspectives, and we want to thank you both for being here today.
Thank you for having us.
Yeah, I think this is a great series we're doing here during Mental Health Awareness Month. So, you know, this is the month that we need to think about our mental health. So, Corbin, we're going to start with you. Why do you think that this month is needed, and where are some areas that we need to work on as far as our mental health goes? Because I think there's still a stigma attached to it.
Absolutely, I would agree. I feel like bringing awareness to that is huge, and so having a whole month dedicated to that is key, and just allowing yourself to do what you love and finding time to respect your mental health and understanding that it's okay to step back and take a break and relax and find the things in life that you enjoy.
Yeah. Devin, you are heavily involved in the men's mental health chapter of the Gray Matters Collective. So from your perspective, what is something that maybe men need to be hearing right now that they're typically not hearing year-round that would raise that awareness?
You don't have to carry everything alone. Just because we mess up doesn't mean we're a horrible person. We're human. But we need to do a better job at taking care of ourselves, not being this persona that the world has changed what a man should look like.
Absolutely.
Talking about what's on your mind, that's also another thing that needs to be brought up. You shouldn't bury things deep down. Talking about things will keep you here in the present, and because if you hold it inside, bad things are going to happen.
Yeah, it really, really does build. So it needs to be known that there are resources out there for men.
Yes.
Here in the Quad Cities.
We have our men's mental health support group. It's the last Wednesday of every month from 6 to 7:30 at the Rock Island Holiday Inn. Okay. It's a great environment, a great group of guys. Our counselor is amazing, by the way.
Yeah. No, I think that's great, and I love what you said about, you know, changing the way that we view how men are supposed to act and supposed to talk about their feelings. I see more and more people talking about that every day, which is great. And Corbin, switching over, you were heavily involved in your high school chapter of the Gray Matters Collective. You are still involved today. This is, you know, on a lot of people's minds all the time, right? With the, you know, with social media out there playing a big role, what does mental health actually look like for students these days?
I feel like it's very prevalent now. We try and juggle it all, thinking we can, you know, with sports, and especially in a small town of Mercer County where I was, you know, you have sports, you have extracurriculars, and you have your studies and your academics, and that's your first time, you know, with all of those at once, and trying to balance all that and also have a clear and a focused mind, and then getting a job and worrying about college and where you're going to go. And that's really mentally challenging. So
it's a lot.
It is a lot, yeah.
Yeah, it really is.
It can be overwhelming at times, you know, especially at that age, and even in adulthood, you know, you have all these different things that are piled up, so you just got to take time to just breathe and take it all in. So, you know, people watching this show right now, if they want to show up better for the people in their life, what is one simple step that they can take that's meaningful to get to that direction?
Absolutely. I would say being present in those people's lives. That's one of the main reasons why people are taking their lives, unfortunately, is because they feel like no one's in their corner and nobody understands them, and they have to carry this burden alone, and it becomes so unbearable to the point where they do end their lives. Over 1 billion people globally live with mental health, and in the US alone, roughly 23% of those adults, which is nearly 60 million, which is insane. So yeah, just stepping up in someone's life and saying, hey, I'm here for you. If you ever need to talk, I'm in your corner, and that's huge.
Well, and just hearing those numbers, I think too, sometimes, like listen to them, because not only are they startling, but also that just goes to show you that if you're one of those, you know, thousands and thousands of people, you're not alone. So you can talk about it, right? So Devin, for people that, you know, are potentially struggling right now, maybe somebody who is watching this segment, you talked about the men's mental health chapter, but what are some other resources that are available for people?
Yeah, exactly. We have a co-ed mental health support group. Anybody's allowed to come 14 and older. That's the second Wednesday of every month from 6 to 7:30, Rock Island Holiday Inn. We have a women's support group. That's the last Tuesday of every month from 6 to 7:30 at the Rock Island Holiday Inn. And then, of course, our men's support group, that's the last Wednesday of every month.
Wonderful.
All right, many different opportunities. So if you want to learn more about becoming a mental health advocate, or if you want to join one of many Gray Matters chapters, you can visit their website, thegraymatterscollective.com.
And of course, this is a topic that can be triggering to a lot of people, so we want to remind people that there is help out there. You can contact the National Suicide Lifeline by dialing 988 or texting the number on your screen, 741-741. This is a free service. It's available 24/7, and it is confidential. Very important to know that. Devin and Corbin, thank you both so much for joining us
today.
For having us.
Thanks for having us.
Appreciate your time.
Guys.
Yes.
Well, coming up on QCL, making the most of your solar energy with proper battery storage. Available to use whenever you need it. Eagle Point Solar will show us how next.
You're watching Quad Cities Live.
As energy costs continue to rise and more homeowners are looking for ways to take control, solar is definitely part of the conversation. And today we're diving into how solar storage comes into play, helping families not just generate energy, but manage it on their own terms. Joining us now with what that information is Jim Pullen, President and CEO of Eagle Point Solar. Jim, welcome back to the show.
Thank you for having me again.
Yes, looking forward to talking with you today. Of course, we talk a lot when you're on the show about solar power and solar arrays and the benefits of that. First, can you describe a little bit about how a solar array and how energy storage, a battery, a storage battery, how they work together?
Certainly. So if you think about solar, what most people think about is it works when the sun's out, right? It generates energy. And there are certainly times when the solar array is not generating energy, but we still want to use electricity, right?
Yeah.
So in very simple terms, what a battery will do for us is allow us to take the solar array, put some electricity into the battery, and then allow the consumer to use that electricity when they want to use the power.
Okay.
So it gives more control back to the consumer.
Okay, so I feel like you're busting a lot of myths today, right? Because I think this is not necessarily common knowledge, especially for somebody who doesn't use solar power. So does someone just use the energy storage battery as backup? Is that how that works, or are there a variety of uses?
Yeah, that is a myth, that it's really only good for backup.
Right.
So if the utility goes down, we have a storm, that I can simply use the power. That's true. However, there are a number of other uses. For example, think about when the sun goes down in the evening. If you have a battery and have a battery that is charged, you would have the ability to use that electricity through the night.
Okay.
There are also utilities that will vary the cost of electricity. So sometimes you'll pay more for electricity than you do in other times. So a real good economical use of a battery is to charge the battery with the solar and then let you use that energy when the utility rates are at their highest.
Yeah, okay.
So they're called time of use rates. So it's more than just, I want to use it as a backup. There are a lot of good economic cases with the batteries to offset higher electricity costs.
Okay, so like a little bit of a combo situation to cover everything. And you can also, I was reading, use the battery storage energy on critical circuits as well. So there are ways that you can use this, like if you have an important medical device that's going to be running all day, things like that.
Correct. Think about your home even, and again, back to the backup energy. if the electricity goes off and you've got a freezer full of frozen food, it will eventually melt, right, if the electricity doesn't come back on. So in a lot of cases, if we're setting up battery storage for backup only, we'll just back up those critical loads, because it takes less energy to make sure that you are providing energy to the appliances that need it, as opposed to the whole house.
It's a little peace of mind there, especially when, you know, for folks in the Midwest who storms are knocking out power all the time.
Correct.
So, yeah, to be able to have the use of those things would be great. So the batteries, roughly how big are they? How many do you need?
Yep. So how many you need is really going to be determined by how long you want energy out of the battery.
Okay.
The batteries today have, you know, they're roughly about as tall as the table here. They're about 3.5 to 4 feet tall.
Okay.
They're only about 8 or 9 inches wide. Typically, we're going to, on a residential array, we're going to put them in the garage or in the basement. In a commercial scenario, they may be inside, they may be outside. So they're not very big today. The advantage is the technology has advanced a lot, and the cost has actually continued to come down.
Okay.
We use a lot of Tesla product. That's kind of a common name in the industry.
Okay.
But there are a number of other brands as well.
Okay, and this is something that your team can help out with as well, right? Because like I mentioned in the past, we've talked a lot about solar arrays. What's that going to do for your energy bill, you know, throughout the months? But when it comes to the battery, I mean, that's something that you decide upon, I'm sure, a little bit later, and maybe something that people don't think about when they're deciding to make the switch to solar. So this is something that your team, I assume, is really well versed in.
Yeah, we are. So what we try to identify on the front end with our new customers is whether or not they're a good candidate for a battery.
Okay.
Because like solar, a battery is not going to be for everybody.
Right.
So we try to determine that on the front end. However, we do a lot of what we call retrofits, which is somebody who already has solar installed. They start to hear about batteries, and then we go back to see if it makes sense for them to add a battery.
Got it.
So calculations are different. We're very qualified. We work on a number of these projects, and we can certainly help you out in either case.
Wonderful. Okay, well, a reminder, there's a July 4th deadline approaching. We've talked about it before for the 30% federal tax credit on solar projects for farmers and businesses. So if you want to learn more about trying to take advantage of that as time is winding down, or if you just want to schedule a free solar analysis, visit EaglePointSolar.com. As always, Jim, thank you for being here.
Thank you. I appreciate
really
it.
Appreciate it. Coming up on QCL, a free tour of some of the most beautiful homes in the Quad Cities. Details on the annual Spring Preview of Homes next.
Quad Cities Live continues.
If you're dreaming about building, remodeling, or just love seeing what's new in home design, this is your chance to get inspired. The Quad Cities Builders and Remodelers Association is gearing up for the 2026 Spring Preview of Homes. Joining us today is Mona Pfeiffer, along with Colin Woods from Diamond Builders, one of the featured builders in this year's tour. Mona and Colin, thanks for being here.
Thanks for having us.
Yes, I look forward to talking about this every year. It just sounds like a lot of fun. But for anybody that doesn't know, Mona, what is the Spring Preview of Homes all about? What makes it such a popular event every year?
It is an awesome opportunity for the public to come see local builders at their finest. There's 12 homes this year, and you can see things that you might not see just looking, you know, around at your friend's house. Things, beams, baseboards, new doors, windows, paint colors, new appliances, layouts. It's just, it's so much fun. Whether you're dreaming, you want to buy a new home right now, or maybe you're just starting the process of building a new home. And the Spring Preview is great because not every one of the homes in the preview has to be 100% finished.
Okay.
So that's kind of nice. You can walk through and see some different stages of home building, which is kind of nice.
Yeah, for anybody that's, you know, really looking toward building a home, you get to really see those phases, and then maybe stop back by in the fall and see the finished
and buy
product.
it.
Yeah.
There you go.
There you go. And so there are booklets. You can find them at area Hy-Vee stores.
Yes, they are
been
delivered.
Yes, and you can see these maps. Those will be part of it, so people can see all the homes that are part of this on that map. Also, a range of styles and price points.
Right. Yes.
That's huge for a lot of people because they don't feel like priced out of participating.
No. And like I said, they can even get ideas and incorporate it in the homes that they're building or their remodeling projects as well. And it's free to the public.
Yeah, that's
to come.
wonderful.
Yeah.
Okay, so Colin, as we mentioned, you have a home that is part of this year's spring preview. So tell us a little bit about that home and what people can expect when they walk through.
The thing that's great about the spring preview is you're going to see homes at various different stages. I mean, the house that we actually have in is a model of ours, so it's fully furnished. But at the same time, you're going to be able to go through some homes that are under construction. And in multiple different areas around the Quad Cities. It's a great opportunity to, one, see different craftsmanship that's out there, like Mona was saying, different ideas. If you're looking for different developments, there's various lots that are available in different locations. And also, I mean, there's one of them in there with the student-built home.
Yeah,
I mean,
two.
so two of them in there with a student-built home that is great because we're just promoting the trades with all these kids, and it's awesome to see what they've been able to do as well.
Yeah, that's one thing that the organization does so well is promote the trades. You know, you just had the builders,
Which was Build My Future.
Build My Future
It's about
event.
1,300 kids. So thank you to all that participated. It was awesome. That's our future.
It sounded like a great day. And from a builder's perspective, Colin, so what are some trends maybe that we're starting to see in some of these homes this spring, or maybe potentially something that we should be looking for as we are walking through these homes if we're looking to build?
Yeah, there's a lot of, I mean, it depends whether it's a full custom home. There's a lot of family homes being built right now. A focus for us for a lot of years has been our zero entry villa. So no steps, maybe towards some of those baby boomers or young corporate scenarios. But of late, a lot of things have really shifted towards the custom homes as well. So a lot of families out there building, and a lot of second and third generations looking to put roots down in the wonderful school districts that are around the Quad Cities. And I think the Quad Cities has got a rare opportunity. We've never really seen the exaggerated growth, so we've never seen the corrections. This has been pretty steady all the way. And it's a great time.
Yeah.
Great time to build a home.
It is. And we've got one of the student-built homes on the screen right now. I know we just talked about it 1 minute ago, but I wanted to give our viewers, I wanted to give them a chance to check that out because it truly is an impressive, like,
it is. This
feat.
is one of the first years they've done a 3-car garage.
Yeah.
So that's pretty cool.
It's very cool. This is a lot of fun, Mona, and a great time for people to ask questions, whether building a home is 5 years down the road or 10 years down the road. It's a good opportunity.
Oh, yeah. It's just make a day of it. Go to lunch, go to brunch. Go check out the homes and get some good ideas. And it's free.
It's free.
And you're seeing the best of the best out there.
Who doesn't love walking through a beautiful home? Yeah, I'm with you. Okay, the spring preview of homes kicks off this Saturday and Sunday from 1 to 5 p.m. You can also tour homes next Wednesday, May 13th from 5 to 7, and the following Saturday and Sunday, the 16th and 17th from 1 to 5. Pick up your booklet and your map at your local Hy-Vee store or visit qcbr.com for more information.
.org.
Yes.
There you go. Yeah.
And Mona and Colin, thank you so much for joining us today.
Yeah, we just hope people go through their house now and go, I hate everything I have. I'm going to go build a new home.
Sounds great to me.
Yeah, I know, right?
Sounds great to everybody, right? If we could all just do that.
Right.
All right, coming up next on Quad Cities Live, a preview of the new events happening this month at the Cole Valley Public Library, including a class about reducing your risk of dementia through your diet.
Quad Cities Live continues.
From crafts and games to a party celebrating summer reading, there's plenty to experience this month at the Cole Valley Public Library.
Always a lot of fun. Kaylee Floyd is the library's Youth Services Coordinator, and she is here to tell us all about some of the events and activities happening throughout the month of May, not only for the youth, but for the adults as well.
Everybody,
Kaylee, welcome back.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, always good to see you. So as we kind of teased before the break, we got an event coming up a little bit later this week that really helps keep our minds healthy as we're getting older.
Yeah, so we have Kristen from the Illinois Extension coming to do a presentation about the Mind Diet, which is kind of a blend of Mediterranean style food and DASH dieting. She's very skilled and knows a lot about what types of food you should have versus what you shouldn't, and gives backed research on all those things of why you should or shouldn't eat those things.
That is wonderful. Yeah, and I have heard that in the past, that Mediterranean diet. Teen Gamers Club, so that's coming up a little later in the month on May 20th. What are we doing at that club?
Yeah, so we haven't had it for a little bit. It's mostly just a mix of different types of games, kind of whatever the teens want to do. I know the Switch is a big one that we always get out, so sometimes we'll do different tournaments like Mario Kart or Smash Brothers, but then we'll also do some kind of more skilled or strategic type games. And then one of my favorites is One Night a Werewolf, which is kind of like debating a little bit.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Love a good debate.
Yeah, it's a good one. So if you haven't ever tried it, definitely check your local library to check it out.
All right, so that's May 20th at 4, and then the very next day we've got Creative Crafters, and you're doing some picture frame rock art.
Yeah, so kind of leaning into summer, we wanted to do something a little more springy and plant-like.
Yeah.
So we're using different various shapes of rocks and like cracked glass,
cool.
gemstones to make these little plant-like scenes.
That is
Yeah, they're
so
very
cool.
cool.
Yeah, it's really fun.
Yeah.
It's very similar. If you like diamond art, it reminds me of that, like that, like super minuscule type
Yes.
crafting. And you think like it would be more difficult than it is, but like adding layers and stuff is really fun. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
It's a lot of fun.
Those are beautiful. Every
Yeah.
time you
Thank
bring
you.
this stuff in, I'm like, I would put this all over my house. I really would. Kids Creative Studio on May 27th. That is in the afternoon, and this is a ton of fun for the younger ones.
Yeah, exactly. So we do kind of, it's similar to crafting, but it's a little bit more elevated, closer to like building something kind of more architecturally interesting.
Okay.
This is one that they've done before, which is like a little robot guy. They did a
Love
story
it.
on it, but our next one's doing Iggy Peck Architect. So Kyla will come up with a fun little theme for them to make. But we use these really cool make-dos that help them cut through the cardboard, like rather than like trying to,
Yeah.
you know,
All right, I see.
bust their hands
Yeah.
cutting with scissors. We have like these little
Okay.
saw things.
Oh, those
and
are
screws.
fun.
They're safety
Yeah, they're
saws.
safety for kids. So yeah, we love using those kinds of things.
That's
All right,
great.
Well, speaking of the kids, it's May, so that means
Almost-
the
school's
school
almost
year.
over,
The
yeah.
school year is winding down so quick.
Yes.
So your summer reading program, that's going to be happening very soon. Sign up is later this month, May 28th.
Yeah, so we're kind of mixing it up this time. We usually do it on a Saturday, but this time we're going to do a Thursday night.
Okay.
And kind of have some different stations throughout the library. We'll have some sensory bins out that are themed with the
We love the sensory bin on this show.
theme. I know.
Love the
Fake
sand.
dirt. And then we also will have like a flower crown making station,
Oh, fun,
bookmark
yeah.
making. We'll also
love a flower
have
crown.
different prizes people can win for signing up that first night. We have like a lot of the themed books on.
yeah.
Yeah, so this is like one of the ones that is The Good Egg. That's
The
the
Good
whole
Egg.
theme of like the kids' summer.
Oh, we got The Good Egg right
And then we
here.
will also have a plant swap for like
Looks great,
adults as well. I know those aren't real plants, but I'm like, I'm not
You
bringing real
didn't have
plants
to
here.
tell
I'm not doing
anyone.
it.
Yeah.
But
They
yeah,
look
bring
real
your
to me.
clippings and yeah,
All right.
see what's all out there.
Awesome. Well, for a full list of the events, programs, and other services offered at the Coal Valley Public Library, visit robertrjoneslibrary.org. Keely, as always, we thank you for being here and sharing all the family fun that you have to offer this month and beyond. We'll see you next month.
All right, sounds
Thank
good.
you, and
Flower
thanks for
crown looks
watching.
great on you.
Yes, it does.
Thank you so much. Thanks so much for watching QCL.
We will see you back here for our next live broadcast Tuesday at 3. See you then.